Hello and welcome to another edition of Currently in Quincy. I'm Joe Catalano, and on today's show we will have a nice sit-down chat with Tom Glasby from the Quincy Council on Aging joining us in studio later on. First, though, let's check the weather and the news for you. Currently in Quincy, we have some milky sunshine out there. It's chilly, 49 degrees right now. The breeze making it feel even a little cooler, with the sun and clouds highs today only in the low to perhaps mid-50s. The chilly night coming up tonight under clear skies down to around 40 degrees. Tomorrow a little bit warmer with some sun and clouds, a high approaching 60. I definitely think Sunday is the pick of the last weekend of October, believe it or not. Lots of sunshine Sunday with highs in the mid-60s. And then for Halloween, kind of some scary weather for the trick-or-treaters later on Monday with some evening showers rolling in. Still pretty mild, though, with highs Monday, again in the mid-60s. Again, partly sunny, 49 degrees in Quincy right now. In the news today, early voting continues here in Quincy and across the state for the upcoming November 8th state election. Here in Quincy, early voting is taking place weekdays at City Hall from 8:30 to 4:30 this week and next week. Also this coming weekend up at North Quincy High School from 8:30 to 2:30 both days. City Clerk Nicole Crispo says that tomorrow is also the last day to register to vote in the upcoming election.
Last day to register to vote is October 29th. City Hall will be open 8:30 to 5. You can still request your ballot online as well up until November 1st. So if you wish to do that, that's available as well. You can go to our election, city clerk, elections, and then we have some links there if you'd like to get it by mail.
Crispo also says that mail-in ballots must be postmarked by November 8th, but will be accepted in her office up until Saturday, November 12th. Crispo is predicting about a 50% voter turnout here in Quincy. Well, construction is well underway on the new Yawkey Housing Resource Center that will replace Father Bill's homeless shelter on Broad Street in Quincy. A topping off ceremony was held recently, marking the completion of the framing of the new building. Father Bill's and Mainspring's Executive Director John Yazwinski says the new center is changing the entire model for dealing with homelessness.
This has been a dream that we've had ever since Father Bill and the interfaith community opened up Father Bill's in 1988, was to take the sign down at Father Bill's. And yeah, we haven't ended homelessness for everybody, but it's a great day today because what we see is a new model. We see 30 new units of permanent housing and a resource center, just not a shelter. And so I think for the last 25 years that I've been a part of this mission, I've always taken it to be like, let's be solution based. And I think what today talks about is that the dream and the hard work of believing that we can do better than just provide a big shelter and a warehouse model. And so it's exciting to see that the project is happening and we're close to opening the doors in the new Yawkey Housing Resource Center.
Yazwinski praised the many public and private donors who've contributed to the $24 million project, which will feature a day center with an array of healthcare and homelessness prevention services, plus that 30-bed emergency shelter. Project is slated for completion next spring. The next Massachusetts governor should consider a complete dismantling and reimagining of the MBTA. That was the recommendation this week from former U.S. Transportation Secretary Ray LaHood. LaHood participated in a hearing regarding a recent Federal Transit Administration report criticizing the T for a variety of safety concerns that have resulted in numerous travel disruptions and at least one death. LaHood said an independent agency, not the Department of Public Utilities, should be established to oversee MBTA safety operations. State Senator John Keenan of Quincy also told the Transportation Committee that MBTA workers should be encouraged and rewarded for pointing out safety concerns rather than the current system of anonymous reporting. What started out as a routine traffic stop for a broken taillight turned into an arrest for having a stolen car in Quincy earlier this week. Police say 20-year-old Okang Bino from Boston was stopped on Quincy Avenue right near Southern Artery Monday afternoon when officers noticed a taillight not working. Police quickly learned the car had been reported stolen in Boston. Bino and a 17-year-old female passenger were both arrested and charged with receiving a stolen car. Bino was also charged with driving after his license had been suspended. Lots of happy faces among Quincy Public School teachers recently after 121 mini grants were awarded from the Quincy Schools Community Partnership. Superintendent Kevin Mulvey says this year's grants total almost $41,000 that will fund special programs and projects that are not covered in the regular school budget. The grants are funded from donations made by both business and community members of the Quincy Schools Community Partnership Program. Mulvey says since that partnership was founded, almost $551,000 in grants have been awarded. That is our check of news for you today. Coming up, Tom Clasby is here from the Quincy Council on Aging. That's next. Welcome back. It's been a little while since we had a nice sit-down chat with Tom Clasby from the Quincy Council on Aging, so we're going to rectify that today. He's here. Hey, Tom.
Joseph, how are you? Good to see you.
Yeah, you too. Appreciate it. We should let folks know you responded on a last-minute call, so I really appreciate the opportunity.
Happy to do it. You guys here have been so good to us over the years. We really appreciate it, and it's such a great service, so, you know, it's nice to be here.
Yeah, thank you. So how are things going?
Really good.
Yeah?
Really good. You know, I think the last time we talked, we were saying the numbers were creeping back up to kind of before, you know, the pre-COVID numbers,
Yep.
and we're gaining a lot of membership.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
New people?
Yeah, a lot of new people coming
Who are these
in.
people, Tom, and where are they
I
coming
don't
from?
know. I'll tell you. Of course, you know, that's the beauty of working with seniors. You know, every time that somebody gets their 60th birthday, although I hope my sister's not watching, she just turned 60. She asked me, how old do you have to be a member? So I told her 61. She said, really? I said, yeah, next year it's 62. She said, oh, I get it. But it is,
As only a brother
it is
can.
60.
60, okay.
And she is a member now.
I'm sure. Yeah. She's got a little inside knowledge.
And I just told everyone her age, so.
So I don't want to be you when you meet your sister again.
She looks better than I do, so it's all right.
Okay, so 60 years old,
There you
that's the
go.
only requirement?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have to be from Quincy?
We have free tuition for Quincy folks.
Yeah.
We do have people from other communities,
Yeah.
and there's a charge. It's very minimal. It's $20 for life. So.
Okay,
can't
so it's
beat
the only
that.
thing in the world that's not going up right now.
That's right. Yes. Yes.
How many members do you have?
Oh, the new ones are. We have over 7,000. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I bet you it's the
this.
highest membership organization, not only in the city, but in the area. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be. And, you know, we, just this week, I think we probably brought in the last 2 weeks, probably 30 people.
Really?
Yeah. And it does go in spurts like that. We'll have a week where no one joins,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden, you know.
And do they say, how they heard about it? Or where
Some
they're from?
people say I've been meaning to do this for a long time, and
Yeah.
they just haven't got around to it, and they're just getting around to it. Sometimes it's somebody that's been a member for a month or two, brings in a friend. We see a lot of that.
Yeah, okay.
You know, let somebody else test the waters and see how, you know, how it works out. You know, we're getting younger members, which is great. All ages are welcome. We, as you know, we try to have a little bit of something for everybody.
Yes, yeah.
But the baby boomers are you know, coming in, and we find that they like the active stuff. Most of them are still, you know, pretty active, very active. So they like the exercise classes and those kind of things.
Okay, all right. Well, some of them probably still working, right?
Yeah,
the
yeah,
younger
a lot of
ones.
them
I mean,
are,
60 years
definitely.
old, right?
Right, definitely. You know,
Sure.
Yeah, they're not getting rid of me yet. That's right around the corner, Joe.
As I always say, the closer it gets, the
Yeah.
younger it looks.
Right, exactly. You better believe it.
But you're back full in person now, right? There's
Yeah. The whole staff is back. Everything's operating. Pretty much how we were.
Yep. And the transportation also back?
Transportation.
Okay.
They worked throughout, but they've changed what they were doing a little bit.
Right.
We're still doing the emergency stuff. No, I shouldn't say emergency in the sense like ambulance work, but I mean, people that needed dialysis continued to go throughout.
Of course, yeah.
And then there were some medical appointments that we continued to do cancer treatment and stuff like that
Sure.
that couldn't be put
Of course,
off.
yeah.
So they were working throughout, and then they were also bringing food to those people that were quarantined.
Okay.
So it changed focus a little bit, but so
Okay.
they were working throughout. Yeah.
Any concern, I mean, this winter surge that
Well,
they're talking about?
I think the Health Commission is great, and he's, as you know, right in the building with us, and we chat a lot. He keeps us updated. There's always concern to be. We were ahead of the curve. We had bought the sanitation equipment, the fogging equipment,
Yep.
to prepare for cold and flu season before COVID was even out.
Yep.
Before it even hit.
Yep.
And it was just one of those things that I guess it was serendipity. We decided, cold and flu is always an issue. So why not, try to prepare if we can sanitize the building as good as possible. And it just turned out to be really fortuitous because we had the equipment in place. And as you know, I'm sure, that equipment was very difficult. It went quick, and it was
Yes.
very difficult to get.
Yep.
Yeah.
Once again, leading the charge.
Yeah, so we
Yeah.
just, it's education. We tell people to wash their hands. We have, if people want to wear a mask, they're certainly welcome to wear a
Yep.
mask. We don't require that, but and some people do and some people don't.
Okay,
so that's
all right.
fine.
Are you hearing, what I mentioned, the cost of everything going up? Are you hearing that from your members, that they're being impacted, folks on fixed incomes?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just seems to be the, it's on everybody's mind, I
Right.
think, the cost. And even we have the cafe in there and just purchasing stuff for us. Now, we haven't raised our price, and we don't run at the profit anyway. We run at a loss, which is fine.
Right.
It's never been about, making any kind of money. It's about socialization.
Sure.
But we can see that it's costing more to do those things, and that's fine. We'll do it, But so I think a lot of people are in a jam, and now they're talking with the heating and electricity.
Yeah. Well, this is what I'm thinking. You're open every day. Folks can come, spend the day, maybe not have to heat their homes as much during the day.
Absolutely, and we encourage that. We've never put that out there in that sense. We do, of course, in the extreme heat, tell people, come on down. Just come spend the day until if the afternoon it gets a little cooler. And you want to head out. But by all means, if people want to, lower the heat a little bit at the home and come in and we'll keep it nice and warm.
Socialize and save some money at the same time at home, right?
Absolutely. I may move my bed in there now that you say that. No, I can't do that.
No, not yet, anyway. I know that there's hope, at least in the future, for having some outdoor amenities at the Kennedy Center.
Yeah, we're still working on
Okay.
that. It's not a dead deal. There's a lot of environmental hurdles to work through, and so it's still. I was going to say it's still on the back burner, but it really has never been on the back burner. It's just a lot to work out, and a lot of. We've had engineering firms come in.
It's a tough site. It's in
it is.
wetlands right there, yeah.
It is. It's a tough site, but we're still hopeful that someday we'll. That's really my dream.
Is it really?
Yeah. I can't remember which center it was. It was one of the ones down the Cape that had done a beautiful job with their outdoor. And I went to the MCOA conference down there. I don't know, it was Barnstable or... It doesn't matter. It was one of the Cape councils, and they did such a nice job with the outdoors. And I saw it and said, we could really do, because the site's so beautiful there,
Yes.
where we are.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just, the bird watchers are in anyway.
Right.
So we definitely would get a lot of use out of it. You know, it's just a nice place to take a walk. And we have our walking club that goes along Wollaston Beach,
Yep.
which is also beautiful, and going to Swanham is nice. That would really be a crown jewel. You know?
Okay.
And it's all passive that we're
Right,
that we're
exactly.
trying to propose. But we want to do the right thing, and we'll work with the powers that be to see that it's done. You know, the mayor's committed to it. He's been excellent. You know, so.
Well, you do have a new neighbor now. The animal shelter is next door.
Yeah.
It's kinda
that's
fun.
great. And you know, we've always had a relationship with the folks, the volunteers down there for a long time, and we don't. The board is particular about who uses the Kennedy Center. It's mostly for senior issues, but they've had their fair over many years. They
Sure.
had their fair there to raise money for the shelter,
Yep.
because that's a great service to the community.
Yeah, and now a nice place to visit, I would think, too, for members who are interested in helping out or just want to see the animals.
Absolutely. You know, it's funny. The seniors love anytime we do anything in the center with animals. Even reptiles,
Oh, yeah.
they love it.
Kids
you
and
know?
pets.
Yeah,
Kids
yeah,
and pets.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
So a new month is approaching quickly, Tom.
It is, and the
November,
first
yeah.
of the month will be coming up. So for those people things that we talk about today, they'll be able to sign up for the very first day of the month. So we encourage them to get in as quickly as possible, because those things fill up rather quickly.
Yes,
So,
yes. Trips still?
Yeah, I mean
Some
we have
trips, yeah.
we have a couple of trips actually. We have I'm going to
Yeah, go ahead and use your cheat sheet.
Use my
That's fine.
cheat sheet here.
Absolutely.
Because
By the way, this is the monthly newsletter, right there.
it is. It just
November.
came out.
Yeah, hot off the
Yes.
press.
Yeah, there you go. And we're going to see the Boston Pops on the 18th of December, but they can begin that the sign up for that. It's $119, and they depart from Pageant Field 2 p.m. And then, of course, it says a dazzling performance. Well, we know how wonderful the Pops are at that time of year. They're going to Symphony Hall.
Nice.
And then after the concert, to take a little ride around the Common and get to see some of the, Boston's changed so much in just even a year.
It's so true,
amazing how
yeah.
much it is. And then we get them back around 7 p.m. They be dropped off at Pageant Field
Okay.
where they park. So
I'm guessing that'll be a holiday performance, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And then on December 31st, we have New Year's at noon.
Okay.
And we've done that before. This is something it's a harbor cruise. So they can celebrate New Year's Eve with their friends aboard the Odyssey for a 2-hour cruise with champagne, toast, and a countdown at noon.
To noon.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it'll be New Year's.
But you know something? It's great. Really, I mean, the Moonlight Cruises are nice on the harbor too, but not so much in December where you can go out on the deck. It's going to get a little chilly out there.
Right.
So it's really nice. It's a nice day to go out. There's a DJ. There'll be a great buffet, luncheon, the countdown. There's a bar there if people want to partake. We encourage them not to partake too much, but they can partake a little bit.
Sure.
And then just to be able to be out there on the harbor and see the sights.
Hey, I'm on board with that.
I know, me too.
By
Me
midnight
too.
on New Year's Eve,
No
I'm
kidding.
checked out.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
Nice. So some fun trips coming up.
We've done it in the past, not the harbor cruise, but parties. And at first I'm like, is this going to work? But it definitely did work. So,
Yeah. Do you do anything at the center for the holidays?
No, those will be well. We do have the Christmas party.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
Okay.
we do have a Christmas party, and I got to check on.
By the way,
that.
while you're doing that, how do folks get this newsletter?
So the newsletter is available at most of the public buildings. It's all of the municipal buildings. It's available in most of the banks in the city and the supermarkets. If they want to call, there's a fee, and I'm trying to think of what the fee is, but there's a small fee,
Okay.
and we can mail it out to them.
You can. Okay.
So we got so many requests that we started to do that.
Okay. We have it here in our lobby too, by the way.
A few years
for
back,
folks who want to
right?
stop
So
over.
we tried to get them out as much. I had a woman call me years ago, and she said, "I can't find them anywhere." And I said, they're in churches? I went, I couldn't find it. Finally, I just drove over to the house and handed her one. And she still talked about that for a long time.
Personalized service.
Oh, we'll do that. We're happy to do that, you know. So the Christmas party is December 9th. That's a luncheon at the Kennedy Center. You know, space is limited. It's $10 per person. We'll have entertainment. We'll have a nice buffet lunch.
Nice.
And celebrate the holidays that way. Yeah.
Anything for Thanksgiving?
So the mayor always has his Thanksgiving luncheon just before, the day before Thanksgiving. And in fact, Mayor Koch was the first one to do that. I worked every Thanksgiving for the first, 10 years of my having this job. But he said, you know what, let's do it on the day before. And the people like that because most of them do have somewhere they're going with family anyway.
Sure. They get 2 Thanksgivings.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, that's at the Elks.
At the Elks.
It's the day before.
Okay.
We haven't distributed tickets yet. Again, that'll be something that will begin on the 1st.
Okay.
Get the tickets out there, and it's a great time. We have Ziggy Marley usually performs for us. He does a great job. The seniors love him. And it's a blast. It's probably the biggest party that we do.
Really?
You know, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because again, the Kennedy Center is limited as to the amount of space. But the
Well,
Elks
right. Yeah.
can fit, a good amount. So.
Yeah. Okay. So you are closed on Thanksgiving and the day after, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. I'm glad you mentioned that.
Yes.
And I have to make that note of that on my calendar so I don't come in.
You don't
Friday.
show up and say, where is everybody?
That's right.
And Veterans Day, too, right, in November is a Friday.
We'll be closed Veterans Day, and we do have on the 14th of November a Veterans Lunch.
Oh.
It's not limited to seniors. It's veteran. Years ago, we had kind of celebrate the holiday of veterans, and we had veterans and their spouses or some people that weren't even veterans were coming, and we thought, let's really make this a day that we can honor just those that have served. So spouses stay home, and men and women that have served in the military over the years come in. We have a beautiful pot roast luncheon for them. We also have entertainment that day, and we give each veteran just a little opportunity to speak, just to say, when they served and where they served, and it's really nice. We've started doing that about 4 years ago, and it's nice to hear, all the places that they've been at. Some of them been in hot combat.
Yes.
Some of them have served during peacetime.
Yep.
Some of them have served during combat, but in peaceful places. All necessary.
Sure.
And all doing a service to our nation. So we're grateful to each and every one of them. And
Great to give them recognition.
Yeah,
right?
it's important to
and
do
for their
that.
families
I think,
too.
it's really important to do that.
Do they make any friendships through that luncheon that they may not have in the past?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's very funny, because it'll trigger someone that, might have served in D.C. and somebody else. I knew somebody in such and such intelligence and blah, blah,
Right.
blah, blah,
Yeah.
So it is interesting. And that happens a lot in the stuff that we do. I mean, we've seen friendships form with the Senior Olympics, just different trips that we've taken too, Yeah, so that's a neat part of the job.
Yeah, that's the bigger picture.
Yeah,
right?
it really
the bigger
is.
goal
It
at the
really is.
Kennedy Center,
Absolutely.
right? Is
Absolutely.
creating lasting friendships.
That's the name of the game, Joe. And I've said it before. I remember these two women, and they were talking and almost finishing each other's sentence, and I just had in my mind that they've known each other for 30 years or more, 50 years. They went to high school together. Blah blah. blah.
Their kids know each other.
Yeah,
now,
yeah. I said, how long have you guys known each other? They said, well, we met here 2 years ago. And so it's really formed some nice friendships.
Yeah. Well, it's been quite obvious over the past couple of years how important social interaction is, for sure.
Yeah.
You have a fun message on the front page of November newsletter about stopping and smelling the roses.
You know something?
And not letting life pass you by.
I tell you, I got a phone call from a gentleman. He's a good guy, lives down in Quincy Point, and he said, your message this month was just tremendous. He said, I enjoy reading them and I'm thinking to myself, because I do them, a few weeks before they go on. I'm thinking, no, what did I read about?
What did I write?
Then it came to me. I guess I was just as it says in the beginning of the message, I was in one of the big stores,
Yeah.
and I was like, Halloween, Christmas, Hanukkah,
Yep.
all together. And I'm like, well, it used
In
to
September, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could get through one, but it's like the world just says to us, rush, 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 rush.
Yeah.
You know, and you can fall into that trap.
Oh, yeah.
You know, easily. I mean, we all do it to a certain extent. And then I read something years and years ago. It was a little cartoon piece like, keep life simple. Don't let the little simple joys of the day, get swallowed up with consumerism and all the rush, rush, rush. I had a friend, Joe. It's funny you say that. He's passed away. He died young. He had bad diabetes and didn't take care of himself. But one of the things that I admired about him, he would call me up, call me Tommy, his old friends sometimes do, and he says, Tommy, he says, you remember the day we went to Castle Island? I think to myself, when? You know, he says, yeah, we got hot dogs. Okay, now it's coming clearer. Like, when don't you have hot dogs
Well, right.
here at Castle Island or ice cream? Yeah, he goes, we sat there and we were just, and then, I did a memory of the day, and he said to me, I said, oh yeah, Rich, I remember that day. And he said, that was a good day. And I thought to myself, he had a real gift for remembering very simple, ordinary experiences and kind of treasuring them.
Yeah.
And it's something that, a lot of us don't do, and I don't do enough. So that was the message. Like,
Yep,
let's just
yep.
slow down, especially going into the holidays.
Yeah.
And
It's a good
smell the
lesson.
roses and enjoy.
Good lesson for us all. Good to talk to you, Tom, as always.
It's always good to be here, Joe. I probably babbled on too long.
Not at all. Appreciate it. We'll have you back.
And next message I have is a good one, too. So that's
All
gonna be
right,
something
we'll
to look forward
we'll look
to.
for that in December. All right, thanks, Tom.
Very good.
Check the forecast for you for the rest of the day today. It's a good day to get out and smell the roses. If you can find some sun and clouds. A little chilly in the low 50s. Cold tonight. Not too bad tomorrow. Much better on Sunday. Some rain here on Monday. Thanks again, Tom Clasby, for joining us today from the Quincy Council on Aging.
Thank you, Joe.
Thanks to our crew. Thank you for watching Monday here in the show. Robert Pearson from the Norfolk County RSVP program. In the meantime, our website, qatv.org, has our latest programs, news and information, video on demand, and a lot more. For all of us here at QATV, I'm Joe Catalano. Have a great weekend.